my dreams collide. Sarah's voice, a gentle guide through the realms of time and space. She takes us to a sacred place.
I was wondering if you could tell me how we could move objects with our mind's eye, or how it, or even if you see this as beneficial or not.
I would say, Sarah, that it is a slippery slope. The reason it is a slippery slope is certain gifts or abilities like that then become a show or a distraction. So beginning to understand, one, that is capable and then witnessing it oftentimes is enough to show how malleable reality is. And just by seeing that reality isn't as fact solid that we think it is, one's perception then begins to morph into something more fluid, more unfolding as to concrete. If one wanted to move an object with their mind, they would first tune into the object and understand that the object is the same as themselves. So they merge their consciousness with the consciousness of the object to the point of one-mindedness, which is a meditative practice, the awareness of shifting one's perception from oneself into the awareness of another. And then when one is able to perceive that both are the same, that the object is the same as the observer, although on different ends of the spectrum, if one realizes that they are the object, because all is God expressing and experiencing itself, the object has its own consciousness. And you can shift and merge yourself with that consciousness and become one with it. And once one has become one with it, one can then begin to move the physical matter in the direction of one's will because one has become one with it. Now, Sarah, what I'm telling you is easier said than done because of the way that human beings have been trained. So when people go deep into their spiritual path and they go deep into consciousness and they go deep into meditation and they begin to understand that there are various levels of consciousness, what you believe or understand to be different brain states. Those different brain states of awareness have different skills and abilities within them based on the frequency and the speed of that frequency. So within some aspects of those brainwave dynamics, it would then become easier to say, move an object, because one has slowed one's vibrational capacity down closer to the actual vibrating speed of that object's physical matter. So by slowing down one's frequential awareness, one then begins to gain control at that level. One then begins to gain control of reality from the standpoint of the observer. And once one is in the observer, one can then act on reality as one sees fit and see change manifest. One can see objects manifest directly from the void through that understanding of emergence as the one, of bringing something from a higher realm into a lower realm, as has been practiced by shamans, as has been practiced by mystics, as has been practiced by magicians of a high level order. They have come into the understanding that They are one with that which they manifest. They are in alignment with that which they have pulled from the higher realm into the slower physical realm. And they do that by slowing down their vibrational nature from the fast, normal day speed of consciousness, of which human beings act and live and accomplish things in their day to day life, and then inverting that towards their inner world. So when one goes into those deeper states of consciousness, what you perceive to be the delta and the theta brainwave states, one moves into that slower vibration that is then more in alignment with something's actual nature. And from that standpoint of awareness, one can then move their own nature into the unified consciousness of both, and then move matter as one sees fit, or pull matter directly from the void and watch it manifest. But it happens from the standpoint of the observer, influencing their will and their own power upon that which is theirs to experience, which is the all of creation. And that is the beauty of a human being, is that that level of awareness is what has been bestowed upon humanity to uncover within oneself. And that is ultimately one of the greatest acts of self-love that one can actually experience, to become aware of just how immense a human being actually is.
Wow. So really, if we understand that, I guess it's almost like you were saying everything is us then. So every potential that we would bring through would be also us, and the objects in front of us that we want to move, we understand that they are us, and then using that understanding, connect with basically the consciousness of that object, you would be able to move it. Is that, is that,
Yes.
okay, wow. So, okay, so what about like your life path? If you manifest something, say you bring it forward, what happens to your life path? Do you alter it if you manifest something that wasn't in your path?
I'm not understanding the question, sir.
So what about like, your contracts and what you've chosen for your life, and basically what you decided before coming into this incarnation? If you manifest something, does that go against your contracts, or do all your contracts just, are they liquidy in a way? Do they bend?
Yes. So to, I would say that you hit the heart of the matter. So we come in with fluid contracts. They're not set in stone. And so it's understood that when a soul comes into physical expression, one is going to run into challenges, and things may not work out the way one expects them to. We would say this is more the norm than the exception. And so within that framework, destiny itself is not solid. It's malleable. And part of that has to do with the way that actual reality unfolds itself. Because as you're aware, Sarah, there are other aspects of someone's consciousness that does experience that. It's just outside of awareness. So you have the multiple framework of experience where, in fact, everything is experienced. So if one has the expression in one's life that something did not materialize, it did materialize in another parallel reality for them that they're not aware of. And as the barriers to consciousness continue to collapse and the elevation of perception begins to increase, people are going to become more and more aware of those parallel realities where they're able to see what happened in the expression where that did manifest and come true, where they chose a different life path, where they chose a different life partner, where they chose different relationships in their life or made different decisions. And so within the framework of this life that one now lives, we would say that the reason that you're aware of this life that you're living is because in this timeline of your consciousness, it presents the most growth opportunity. And so paths that do not necessarily unfold within one's life, while they are experienced at a soul level, the consciousness is not necessarily aware of them unfolding in such a way, but they are in fact experienced for the growth of the soul. So the soul records that, the Akashic frequencies record that, and I bear witness to all of it. So I am intimately aware of all of those paths that unfold. And it is those multiple channels of expression which I then filter and sift into its raw essence